Welcome back to Agent Tactics. My guest today is somebody I've met through the Tom Ferry organization. We started talking about our fondness of YouTube. I checked out his channel and I loved it. So I thought he'd be a great guest to come on Agent Tactics, talk about his style because there's the biggest problem most agents have is like, how do I do this content? How do I come up with the content? And then how do I edit? Well, he's got some really cool edited stuff, but then he's got some stuff that's super easy to edit.
Sure.
And I want to go through how he's doing that because I think that's what's getting him business right now. Christian Clay, welcome to Agent Tactics.
Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, hey, real quick, let me share with everybody because I always get in the comment sections like, how do I get these things? So, if you're watching back on YouTube, if you want any of the old playbooks or any of that fun stuff, it's right. You got to come through right here. So, I have this. Just DM me the word flow or text me or go on to Instagram, hit me the word flow right below. Kind of the sign up to get into all of the email list here. I have a store with all of the Agent Tactics past playbooks. So Christian and I are going to do a whole video today, and we're going to break down his style, and we'll create a playbook and email that back out. Plus, the replays are then held on our YouTube channel. I got some other stuff on here as well. So definitely hit this up. I'll throw it in the chat here in a second. So that's one thing I wanted to share. The other thing I wanted to share was just the stand store. If you want more of the stand store stuff, most of this is free, so I try to make it free. There's a few things that are paid, but like the playbook that we'll do with Preston here at the end, you'll get a playbook with him. Last week's playbook is on here. One I recommend you go find on here, and I'll put this in the comment section, is this one right here with Bill Olson we did a couple weeks ago. My Instagram, I'm getting a ton of leads off Instagram now from changing my content style, and it was literally from this Agent Tactics. Next week, I actually have Rick Lee coming on. Rick Lee took this plus something we did recently with Will Draper, and he is getting 4 to 5 leads per day in the converting leads off of Instagram. So stay tuned for next week, but let's get into Christian Clay. Christian, sorry for that long intro, man. So
You're good.
what part of Florida are you in?
So my office is in Winter Haven, which is
Oh,
in Polk.
nice.
Yeah, it's in Polk County. My team and I cover the greater Tampa and Orlando area. A lot like in Texas, where you have like that Dallas, Fort Worth kind of metro ordeal going on. So we're wedged 45 minutes between both directions. So we dabble in all of those markets.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that brings the next question then. So what got you into getting into YouTube? And then I want to get directly into your content style.
Yeah, so you saw my original YouTube channel, right? That kind of was what I wanted to do. I was doing Instagram, right around the time I was I've been in the industry for about 5 years. Started off just doing your just sold, help the family member, whatnot. Then Instagram started doing the short form video stuff, and man, I tell you what, man, I just don't have it in me to every day do a funny video where I'm like falling down in a house or something like that. So, I ended up pulling my brother aside, and I gave him a decent amount of money. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but like follow me around for a few months, and here goes like enough money for you to live off of. So we tried to do short form stuff with like the nice video quality, but then ended up just sticking it on YouTube just because I thought it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even really know why. I just started doing it. So
Yeah, so I'm showing people, here's your original channel that you started off, and
hmm
it has almost 6,500 subscribers, and
hmm
you kind of bailed on this channel. I mean, you're still putting content out. This was 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
So you're still putting out the highly edited videos, right?
Correct.
This is fantastic. So doing these style videos, what's your like spend and what's the process for putting these videos? And then I really want to dive into the other style more.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so it cost me anywhere between 600 to 800 bucks to do one of those videos because I have a videographer that follows me around and does all the editing. It's really cool that he does every. To be honest with you, is my brother. Very durable. By the
Okay.
way, right? I can talk to him how I want to. I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing, etc. So, but he's awesome, as you can see. Loves what he does. But it cost me anywhere between 600 to about 800 bucks per video to do that. The problem with that channel is what we want to do is we want to make it perfect, and it takes a lot to organize people
Yeah.
and time. everything. So hence the reason, the birth of the other channel.
So let's get to the other channel. So, because the questions I normally get on here, and that's the reason why I asked that, is the questions I normally get is how do I get a videographer? You kidnapped your brother, so
Sure.
that's great. How do I shoot this? How do I do these things? And we've covered that in a lot of other videos. But what I really want to get to is a style. I used to do live streams, and I use StreamYard to do it.
Hmm.
And I want to go through, we'll go through StreamYard, we're going to go through everything. But you started doing this style of content, and you're doing videos almost every other day, pretty religiously. And these videos, man, I'm telling you, I want to know how much of business you're getting off of it. But these thumbnails right here, you caught me on one of these videos a while ago. I think it was like a Lennar video. I mean, the thumbnail is freaking fantastic, right? But then
Yeah.
here's how hard this video was. I'm not going to play the audio, but it's basically you coming in and saying, "Hey, it's Christian Clay back onto the channel. I've got a guest here." And then you have B-roll running the entire time, and all you guys do is talk about this neighborhood.
Correct. Yes, that's it.
How many of you in the chat think that is the hardest thing to do and or want to know more of how he's doing it? Uh, if you think it's hard, drop a that's hard. If you want to know more of how he's doing this, drop a one in the chat and let's actually roll on this. So walk me through this. How are you setting this up? How are you doing this?
Yeah, so just to give you a little backstory on this channel, when I was getting business from my first channel, yeah, I was a one-man band and people were relocating to the area, and I had to show them communities that they were moving to. They had no idea. I want to look at this community and that community, and they're in New Jersey, right? So I used to put a camera on my car and just drive through the community and talk, right? And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of make it go live on YouTube. And that's kind of the concept that we're still doing right now. But instead of me going and driving 5 times a week to different communities, I have the agents doing these types of things, and then they're putting their content in. So the agents have a task to do once a week. I only have 4 agents on my team right now, but their task is to go to a community. They're all provided a drone. They're all provided a GoPro. They're all provided a gimbal for their phone. You have to get a drive of the community, a driving tour. You have to get a home tour of the community. And then you have to fill out 2 forms. We have a community form, which is just a Google form, goes to a spreadsheet. And then we have a model form, right? So they tour model A, and it's a 4,000 square foot home. You fill out that form, and we always have this database when somebody reaches out to us. I need a screened in Lanai. We could just kind of go through that. With that, we record on Mondays. So that's kind of how they're bringing in the content weekly. That's how we're able to do, like you said, 3, 4, 5 a week. So we actually use Google Drive to host all of our videos, right? Our whole database of videos there. And what I'm using is, you mentioned just right when we hopped on in the beginning that it's probably StreamYard. I believe you're using StreamYard right now. I've started off using StreamYard. I used StreamYard at first. Then I tried to go to, I think it's OBS, right? I think OBS is kind of like
Okay.
the more complex ordeal. And then now I'm using Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is giving you guys my secrets here, but you better listen up. So Ecamm Live is a mixture of, I would say, StreamYard and OBS, right? It's complex enough, but it's easy enough, right?
Okay.
And you just kind of build the skin how you want to, right? We have multiple styles that we do on that, but all I'm doing is just going into my Google Drive for the day, and I'm pulling off of our database of whatever we're showing, and I'm screen sharing, and then I have my, like you're hosting me here. We did it on StreamYard to start with, so you could do it on any damn thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Excuse my French, but yeah.
Why don't I pull up StreamYard then, and just so people could see what StreamYard is, and if you don't mind keying up Ecamm on your side. So here's StreamYard. Oh, wrong one. StreamYard. So and this is what I was doing for live videos to make this really easy. Oh, it's gonna make me go through and sign in. Son of a monkey. All right. I'm not gonna be able to do it. It's gonna take a minute. So StreamYard, well, it's free, first of all. And so with StreamYard being free, what's nice about that? Oh, I got it. Here we go. Let me find Zoom again. Let me share this one. Here we go. So with StreamYard, I could do like, let's say I want to do a recording. So I actually do this with my videographer. Like I'll talk about something and screen record what I'm talking about, and then he can use that as B-roll. What I'm curious about is how you're running your B-roll on there. So you're having your agents go out and get just drone footage of the community, a walkthrough of the house, and then
Correct.
are you editing that to like a 15-minute video and then just putting it into the drive? Like, so it's just basically like a lightly edited video. How's that work?
Not edited at all. I have some, I say some, I only have four agents, right? But like one or two of them are a little savvy enough and they understand now the better video that I put out, the better lead that I get in, right? So they do some light editing to it, but it's not required at all. I want to make the process as easy and simple that I can plug and play. So on my Google Drive, I have a folder that's a shared folder that says home tours. From there, you got all of your builders, all of your models in there. And on the other drive is community tour, right? The community tour can either be a drive with the GoPro, or if they've made it high enough in the team to have a drone, then it's a drone tour of the community. And literally, I'm DJing on the back. I'm not editing at all. I'm DJing on the backside. When we're done talking about the community tour, I just click over to the next tab that I have opened up with the home tour that's in it. No editing.
Hmm. So what you're seeing on here is basically if you're watching this, like I can have this is probably not going to work very well because I'm using my laptop to create this, but you can build out multiple shots on here, right? So if you're seeing this section right here, I can create like a custom thing. So when I hit present and I present whatever I'm talking about, I can add that on there, and then you can build this out to be as complex as you want. And so are you doing these live, or are you just hitting record and then uploading them when it's been recorded?
I'm recording and uploading. We started doing them live because the idea was I don't want to edit at all because I want no excuse to be able to pump out videos, right? So
Hmm.
right now we're just recording them and then just throwing them right into YouTube and the rest of the stuff behind the scenes that happens there. But yeah, you could do it live too. We used to do it live, and the live I love because you can interact with the people. Right? The
Yeah.
people are asking, "Hey, what about this? What about that? I'm thinking of moving," and you can just kind of talk. And the idea is to give yourself opportunity to be liked and trusted by everybody. So the more you can engage with them, the better. So I would encourage everybody on here to go live, to just do it live.
Yeah, and my YouTube channel kind of blew up when we were doing Real Amigos, and so during the pandemic, people were just wanting information, right? And so we would like once a week do, and there was times we had 4 hours of live stream, and using that program is super simple. You literally just go in there. And I know for everybody that thinks that everything needs to be like super high end quality, it doesn't. I mean, the quality of his stuff looks really good because he added some graphics which the program will allow you to do. But let's talk about the business side of that. So
Sure.
you're doing how many of these a week now? Just one?
Um, well, just one per agent. So we're at least doing four of them a week.
So your agents are tasked with, and this is fantastic because I have an agent who wants to talk about Georgetown and North properties. So this would be great for her and I to do. So everybody's always learning on these YouTube videos. But so you basically have them go out, shoot all the content, bring it back to you, and then so you don't even have to go do it. They bring it back to you. They fill out a sheet based on all of the information that they got from the builder and all the information. And then how do you make sure you're getting business out of it? Because otherwise, some people may just go straight to the community and not even talk to your agents.
Yeah, so we have to be the best information givers first because there are a ton of videos on these communities, right? First and foremost, be accurate, be the best information giver. Second of all, show your worth, show what your value is, right? So like if we've done business in that community, let's explain what we've done to, why we're valuable. I think a lot of times I have to reel our agents back in and say, hey, like why are you getting paid as an agent? Are you just telling people like let's go to this builder and getting a check, or did you solve a problem? And so within our videos, I am making sure I'm leaning into them on like, did you solve a problem in that community? What's your value, right? Are you talking about inspections? Are you talking about things to look out for? So we do, and we understand that there's a lot of people that go straight to the builder, and we don't like we tell them, salute to you if you're going to definitely do that. But we show our value within our videos. We got to make sure we're at least doing that.
So what are the things you talk about that bring value then?
I would say first and foremost, understanding the area. That's very basic. That's very generic. But secondly, we talk about stories about clients that have won under contract, and we've had to go, do an inspection, what we found in the inspection, problems that they've ran into, appraisal issues. Imagine buying this asset and you're not even in the area, right? So we are the boots on the ground. If you're thinking of community A, community B, lot A, lot B, the video that we're showing you on the screen, which we say it all the time, this is what a customized video looks like, right? This is what you're going to be watching on your couch in Texas when you're thinking of moving to Florida. So there's a lot of different ways that, and when we have our meetings, we're always talking about the value that we do bring. And none of this is, and I tell everybody, we don't lie, and we don't just try to pull things out of our butt. Like, if you do not see value in what it is that you're doing, you're going out of business. That's just simply put.
I love it. Okay, so some of the questions around live is Tammy says, do you schedule the live in advance to get people to show up? Do you have regular schedules for your live?
That was the issue with the live. So I'm doing 4 or 5 videos, 6 videos a week now. So like going live 4 or 5, 6 times a week is very tough to do. But if you're starting off, I would schedule them for sure. I would schedule them. I would make it a consistent thing for YouTube to pick up and understand that every Thursday at 2 p.m. I'm going live. But if you're starting to get into the volume side of things, how we do it now is every Monday, I get all our recordings out of the way, right? I got a Calendly link with my team. They book their spots. We crank them out of the way. And then everything gets processed throughout the week from there. But to answer your question from me to you, like if you can't go live consistently every single day, don't let that be the one thing that's stopping you from doing it. But if you can, do it. Yes.
And I love you because you're taking a tactic that I used a while ago, and you're taking that tactic and making it much better. So that's what I love about doing Agent Tactics is sometimes I think I did things the best, but man, the way you're doing this is fucking killer.
It's
So
an asset. It's an
it,
asset, man.
it's great. So um, lives, if you're gonna do lives, I highly recommend you schedule them out, and that way your YouTube audience is seeing them, just like he said. And then secondly, you're gonna want to make a thumbnail for it. Okay, so make a thumbnail for it, and then you want to have a good title for it as well. And then if you're going to bring on a guest, and so this is where I want to go with that. You're bringing on a guest, which is your agent. I was bringing on agents in our market and around the country, and we were having debates about markets around the country. Why do you think it's a good strategy to have a second person on versus just one person?
Two things. I think you can have some good natural conversation. I mean, we're in an industry now where there's just so much fluff. Are you thinking of moving to Texas? Here's 10. So much script talking, and when I bring on somebody, I could just cut up with them and talk, right? And I think that
Yeah.
know you like you trust you thing is it just happens a lot quicker, right? You become that real person. But two, the reason I started doing that is because when I first started YouTube, which is not long ago, people, the handoffs to the agents were rough. People were like, "Hey, I'm calling Christian Clay," and I'm like, "Here goes my agent Corey," and they're scratching their head, like, "What's going on here?" Right? So, I wanted to make sure that I'm introducing my agents to the audience, so that handoff is I already know who Crystal is. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I want to make sure that there's just no friction in that, and so it's just a system that I can keep on building off of. But so to answer your question, just natural conversation amongst ourselves, and then two, I want to make sure that the people see who it is that they're going to be working with, right?
No, that's amazing. That's super amazing. And that's something I run into too. Like, um, when you're doing YouTube and you're getting leads like this, it is really hard to hand off. I mean, I've had so many times where, part of being at our brokerage is that, you have a downline component. So agents that are on my front lines here in Austin, I was like trying to hand them off and give them all these because I had too many leads coming through.
Sure.
And a lot of times they were just falling apart because the handoff wasn't great. And so when Eileen, my wife, started calling these people and converting them, it was like, hey, I'm Jeremy. Oh, you probably watched my husband's YouTube channel, right? And so that became easier. And now with our agents, they go, oh, you probably watched Jeremy's YouTube channel. Yes, I'm the number one agent on his team,
There you go.
right? And so
Perfect.
if you don't have like a good script or a good way to hand off to those people, then you lose it. Let's talk about getting business though. What are you doing either in the description? What are you doing to get business directly from the YouTube channel? How does that look? Are they coming to book a link? What does that look
Sure.
like?
Yeah, my CTA is very basic. We have Follow Up Boss that we use as our CRM system. We have a simple phone number that they can call or text, or an email. I'm somebody that's, once again, this is, and this is how I describe the channel. It's gag you real estate, right? There's no fluff. It's real estate, real estate, real estate. And I don't want to miss the opportunity for somebody to reach out to me. So if you watch my videos, my phone number and my email are floating across the screen up top every second, right? So, I want to make, and it seems salesy. I really don't care. If I want to do something that's a little more nice and shiny, I have my other channel for that. But this one is like, I don't want to miss the opportunity. So it's just a phone number. It's just an email. You can text it, you can call it, you can email it, you can do all three of them if you want to. And
Now,
throughout
is
the
it your phone number or is it like a team phone
it's a
number?
team. It's a team phone number. It goes into Follow Up Boss. I have
Okay.
my most trusted agent, which is kind of like the pod leader on the team. Really good talking, shows his face on the channel all the time. He's the one that will pick up the calls, and the benefit in it for him is he has the luxury to select some of the low hanging fruit and pass the rest out. But the emails and the text messages are distributed based on location.
I love it. So when you're having your agents go out with a drone, did you have to teach them how to fly a drone?
Sure. Yeah, of course. You got some that are better than others. You got some that don't have drones. When you first start, we provide you with a GoPro. And so instead of getting the aerial, you're suction cupping the GoPro to the front of your car and you're driving around. And that's kind of
I
your
love it.
community. And then when you graduate after X amount of sales, then you get the drone. We'll teach you how to do all of that. It's all under regulation. It's a small enough drone, but it's 1080p to 4K. It's good enough footage. And then some of them take it and they, like I said, they do a little more with it. They do the little bit of editing because they do understand the better video I put out, the better the lead that comes
I love it.
in.
I love it. I think because my hardest part, as an agent is, man, I thought I knew how to get good quality drone work. No, the
You,
answer is
you,
no.
I don't think you need it, to be honest with you. This is what I tell the starters. You put the drone in the air in the middle of the community. You angle it how you need to, and you do a very slow 360, and that's all we really need. Now, if you want to get better at doing the homes and stuff, that's fine. But what I'm really telling them for the most part is slow down. They want to drive those things fast, but put it in the air, get a 360, give us a good 2 minutes to 4 minutes to just kind of intro and talk about the community. And then we'll jump into the home tour. But, we also have maps and stuff that we pull up to show proximity to some of the major things. We want to make sure that we're the best information givers. And, the longer the episode, the more people can, just see who we are.
That's awesome. So
Mhm.
so this channel you have is about 3,000 subscribers now around there. The other one's double that. Which
Yep.
one is getting you the most business?
More FLA homes, more FLA homes. You see that I kind of, you said I ditched the other channel. Last year I kind of made it, I dedicated my time into more FLA homes. So if you go look at last year towards the beginning of the year to where I'm at now, like you'll see the transition into it becoming a better show. And it took some time, but I'm more proud that I've done that because that is a true asset. That channel is like, it's a good one. I love it.
And you're not doing all the work, right?
Nope.
I mean, you're doing the work of putting it up there, right? But you're not doing the work of going out and filming each community, going out and getting the information. You're doing the work of having your agents know which ones to go do, which ones that they want to go work in, and then you're putting together the time for them to film it, right? And giving them the opportunity. I think this is the smart. Who else? If you think this is just the smartest thing you've ever heard, drop a one in the chat. Because you want to know how you can make this actually easier on yourself if you're a one-person team. Raj Sahu, great guy, right? He's been on the channel. You can find his playbook. I'll put in the chat in a minute. But he paid agents just to go video the neighborhood for him and walk through the neighborhood for him and do the drone work. You can do the same thing and then just do this style versus he does the voiceover. I think this would be so much easier. And then if you just schedule them live, maybe you did like you could do a live uh, Christian, and do like an hour live and talk about 5 communities that you went out and videoed that week and literally go from one to the other and do a full live stream and then take each of those, put it into Final Cut or whatever, and just put a little intro and outro on each of those. You can
Sure.
have a VA do that for you, right?
Sure.
And then you cut each one of those. Now you have 5 videos plus the long video, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a million ways to skin the cat. This is the perfect example of it doesn't need to be that hard. It doesn't need to be that hard. Sure, what I'm doing when people look under the hood is like, man, that's a lot. That's impressive. But I'll be honest with you, it started from me just driving around the community and talking. You know what I mean? Like that's all this is. And all I've done is just made it to where I can do so many of them without having to drive to the communities. You know what I mean? Same thing.
So Jacqueline, she's a single agent and she would love some suggestions. So, what suggestions would you give her on either doing this or maybe a different strategy?
Yep. Here's my suggestion. I don't know what your market is, right? But let's just assume, YouTube, you're trying to get buyers. Let's just assume that, right? So I would take your cell phone, make it simple, right? Go to Amazon and you can find some sort of clip that can clip to either your windshield or your, rear view mirror, something. They have apps where the front of the camera can face you and the back of the camera can face the road. And you just put it inside of your car in your windshield and you just drive and talk and you be you, right? And you have your information. First of all, you can't just wing the information, be accurate on your information, but be you. Sip your coffee, talk about dogs, talk about whatever, and just start posting those things. Start learning what SEO is, that sort of thing. But first and foremost, that is the easiest way to do it. And I would say this, don't edit it and tell the people that this is not an edited video, right? If you want something flashy, go to another channel. This is not edited, this is real. That's
What was that called? What was
the app.
thing?
Yeah, so just go on anything, go to Walmart and just buy you a phone holder for your vehicle, right? And then you can go online. I can't even remember what the app was that I used, about a year ago, a year and a half ago, but there's an app where your front camera will face you and it'll put you in the bottom of the screen, and then the back camera will face forward, and so you can have the road showing and then you can have you showing, and then you're just being yourself talking about the community. That is the easiest way to start. Easiest way to start.
That
Don't even
the
edit
app
it.
you're talking about is called, there's a few, but Double Tap is one of them. So when you're looking at the screen itself, it'll have you in one little corner and then whatever you're looking at. So all you're doing is driving and you can literally like look at yourself in the camera.
Mhm.
And I mean, maybe you don't even need to do that. Maybe you just do exactly what you're doing, right?
Yeah, sure, exactly. Whatever the easiest route is, do it, because I think most people that are wanting to get into the extravagant stuff, they don't need really, all they're doing is just they're pushing aside the starter thing. You just got to do it. Just go do it. Make it easy on
Well,
yourself.
I would like to say that there's a couple of agents here that are doing a lot of business that are new to the market, and they look like they don't even brush their hair.
There you go.
I mean, I'm telling you. So I totally agree that the whole fancy videos are not always the ones that are selling,
Yeah,
some of the, and I don't mean like cheaper houses for my market. I mean, 800,000. They're just waking up in the morning, doing whatever, throwing their hair up,
there you
driving
go.
over to do a walkthrough on one of their listings, talking about it, or sitting on their couch, you know, being
Here's
everyday people.
and your name's Jackie, yes?
Yes, Jackie.
Okay, so here's my thing. There's a guy that's in Florida that sells mobile homes in double wides, right? And he has, I wish I had the channel here, but I've just seen him pop up a few times. A distorted picture of inside of a trailer, and I think he's either in a chair or a wheelchair. Old guy, right? Talking from a cell phone, but he is consistent, right? And he is pulling from the crowd of people that want him. There's going to be people that love him. There's going to be people that hate him. There's going to be people that laugh at him. But he's getting business because he's staying consistent and talking about whatever. So all you need to do is be you and then
Right.
pull the people that want you. The thing that I love about YouTube is it deciphers between people that don't like you. That's fine. Just don't call the number. Or people that love you. I saw 7 minutes of your video. I've been watching you talk. I've seen you mess up. I've seen you burp, So like it gets straight to it. And so all I would say is like show more of you. Yeah. That to me, you saying that people are brushing their hair and just going selling a $700,000 home, that should motivate you enough where it's like, okay, there's somebody that didn't go to them. That's my person.
Well, and that's what, I've spent a lot of time and money trying to figure out how to make everything perfect. And, I'm an older generation, so video is hard for me, but I
Sure.
figured out that that's not really, people tend to lean in because I'm kind of addicted to following all this at night and seeing who's getting the views. And I think they seem to follow into people. Like today, my husband's had surgery, so I have no makeup, my hair's up, you know.
You look great. You look great.
I'm just saying, but I think people are more addicted to that person being real, at least from what I'm getting, than looking like you just walked out of a photo shoot and tried to always walk around in a $3 million home. You know, our average,
Well,
we have
I like
high
to roll around
income.
in $3 million homes.
Well, I do too, but you know, right now I'm happy to roll around in a 700,000, you know, but it's, I think you can connect more with people seeing who you really are than
Yes.
questioning who you really are, is what
There you
I've
go.
learned after
I think
spending a lot of money.
I think you hit it right on the head. We're in a market where people want more, and this is not a plug-in for like real, but people want more real, right? Like they're seeing the scripts, they're seeing the, these are 5 reasons you should move. Like people want real. And when they call us, when I get the phone calls or the emails or the text messages, that's what they're saying. Like you guys are like genuinely true, right? So like be yourself, be yourself.
I think the biggest thing too is, in what we were talking about being real, is that the biggest problem I see with most real estate agents is they want to sell, and selling is not being real, right? And people are afraid to say the negatives, right? That's why the pros and cons videos do so well. That's why the negative videos do so well,
Sure.
is because when you tell people the truth, they want to know the truth. And that's why I think, my YouTube channel did so well at the beginning, is I was like, look, I'm not going to give you all this, like, go call another agent if you want all the shiny things about Austin. I'm going to give you the true things about Austin, right? There's homeless people here. There's this, here's problems, but here's all the cool stuff that Austin has to provide, right?
Bingo.
I'm curious, why did you go from this other channel that was 6,000 subscribers, now it's 6,300, right?
Mhm.
Why did you go from that to this? And then why did you make them actually separate versus just putting it all onto the channel?
Well, the reason why was I brought on, the reason my More FLA Homes channel started was, once again, I was like doing tours for people, private tours, and I just kind of used that as a database, like, to send links. But then when I brought on my first agent, because I didn't want to drive to Tampa every, other day to go show a home, the handoff was a problem. So I was like, look, dude, I'm going to stick you on this channel with me and we're both going to talk. So it started with, I was just telling everybody about the app that you can use. I would go drive to him and we would jump in my truck and we would both talk in the truck, right? And then it got to the point where I was like, I can't do this every week. So it just kind of evolved into what it is now. But it's low cost, very low cost. It doesn't cost me $600 to $800 a video. I can do a ton of them as long as the agents are bought in. It's not shiny, but I don't know. I wanted to lean into it last year, and it paid off for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's
to
definitely
answer your
paying off.
question, like no editing at all. Like it is just extremely easy to do, and I can pump out in volume. Like our strength is in numbers. You know what I mean? Like doing 5 videos a week, like it's hard to keep up with. It's hard to keep up with.
Yeah. I mean, and that's I think the beauty in it. If I spent a Tuesday, right, and went with my videographer and we just drove 5 different neighborhoods, and I'm spending money on this because I don't want to spend time editing. I don't want to do anything. And you're doing this cheaply, right? You could have a VA do most of this for you. You could literally take all of this and have a VA edit all of that into one piece, right? So you could talk about it. But I'm thinking about this like in a strategic. If I wanted to put out 5 videos a week, I would literally go 5 different neighborhoods, do 5 different. So that's going to take me 5 or 6 hours that day, right? Have a VA like literally take the footage and put each different one together, go do a live stream and then cut it. So now you have the live stream, people that can talk, and then you can actually, talk with, and then you could probably take some of that out or leave it in there and then cut those all down to 5 different videos. Now you have 6 pieces of content. And on top of that, you could probably cut that into short content to put out too.
Absolutely. There you go. Like your mind is like you're figuring it out, and that's exactly what I did with the channel. Started from driving in the truck to figuring it out. But yeah, that's exactly all that's all it is really.
Tammy, what questions do you got for our guy here in your hood? Kind of. He's Tampa, other side of the state.
Yep, I'm 2 hours away. So I know that you changed your channel.
Tammy,
And I see that on your
Tammy,
newer channel,
I
you're
know
about,
Tammy. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Sorry.
No, I'm excited to see you. your newer channel, I saw that the oldest video is about 2 years old. So when did you start to see consistent business? And I'm talking about two things. One, the number of leads coming in, because I am getting leads that are going into my CRM because they're clicking on, I want more information, but they're not answering any calls or communicating yet, versus the closings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see if I can answer that. So I guess your question is, so yeah, my newer channel is about 2 years old. The first year, it was more of a database of just like, I'm going to drive this community for this person that reached out to me on my main channel, and I'm going to send it to them. This is community A. And then I just started to do it in a way where I'm like, I'm going to tell the world what community A is, right? So I'm going to make it not just a private link. I'm going to open it up. But like about a year to a year and a half ago is when I really tried to turn it into a really lead generating machine. It's kind of a blur because I was getting some leads off my main channel, and then I kind of transitioned into the newer channel, and so I don't know where they kind of started coming from, but I would say last year, second half of the year, is when I really leaned into the newer channel and started. I knew I was getting the call because people started saying the fire in the background. I knew where it was coming from, right? Like we would get to the closing table or whatever, and I would ask like, which channel did you watch? And they were like, well, you had the fire in the background, you had the guy with them. Like, okay, cool. So this channel is actually working. So I could have done a better job of like maybe separating the two, calls to action that were in there. But you can, and I'm glad you're getting leads, by the way, as early as you are. That's awesome. YouTube is in a stage right now where I'm seeing a lot of people jump in and get leads right away. Right. So it's a lot easier to do so. But, I don't really do any click my link to talk to me. Maybe I should, but I'm just straight up like call, text, email, like get to it. You know what I mean? So I'm just a little more direct with my call to action. I don't know if I
I
answered your
have changed my call to action to that. So a few things like I'll say if you want a list of homes, check in the description below. But if you want to, talk to me, click on my Calendly link, call, text, or email me. But I am finding that there are a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot, but when you have maybe 3 people in a month reach out to you, but they want to have like a 2-hour conversation of what they're going to do in 2 years, it's like,
Sure.
I don't have that kind of time. So how are you weeding through that?
Yeah, so I have my main aide. I say he's kind of like my pod leader, and he's the one that's setting up these consultations or these planning sessions, right? So a phone call could be, and we understand that in the beginning, and he says that in the beginning, like, hey, look, I can't talk to you for an hour right now, but let me understand what it is that you're looking for, and then we'll set you up with the right agent. And once again, if they saw 1 to 5 videos, they saw one of our agents. You know what I mean? But if it's a lead that he really he's putting aside what he's doing and he's making it the consultation right now. So to answer your question, it is tough when you're first starting off and you're starting to get leads. And one of the reasons why I kind of created the systems that I've created is because I am a customer service freak. Like when I'm messing up, I can't sleep at night, right? So I put these systems in place to make sure that we're not messing up, right? So just as long as you're a customer service like freak when it comes to that, you'll figure that part out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Good to see you.
So be a freak is what he said.
Be a freak.
All right. What other questions we got? We got Hilmer in here. We got Melissa. Who else we got? Where'd Jamie go? Jamie bounce out of here? Oh, Jamie's still here. What's up, Jamie? D. What other questions we got? Feel free to unmute.
Is there an ideal video length that's recommended or?
What market are you in?
Good question.
I'm in Chicago.
You're in Chicago. That's a tough one. I had a buddy in Chicago and he's like, dude, I want to do what you're doing. There's like no new construction. There's no development. So, but let me ask you this. D, correct? That's your name?
That is correct. Yes.
What type of service do you provide? Like what's your bread and butter?
I mean, everything. I work with buyers or sellers. I sell condominiums. I sell multi-unit buildings.
Cool. So you have inventory on hand when you're listing homes, right? When you're listing
I am listing, yeah.
Cool. Very nice. So all you need to do is tour the condo, right? And just talk about the area. Chicago is a very dense place. I know that, the pockets are what people are really looking for. Like there's probably little pockets and stuff. So talk about the condo, talk about the pocket, and just keep it simple. Like just, in the same way that somebody would reach out to you on a Zillow or something, just do the same thing via video.
Okay. And how long would that I mean, I see some people are doing neighborhood tours that are like 20 minutes long, but if I'm doing a property tour, that's then turning into a neighborhood tour or a little bit of an area, showing an area. Like, is there a recommended
Time
amount of?
frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't really try to hit a specific time,
Okay,
but I would say whatever it takes to get your information out, right?
got you.
Yeah, yeah. So I would
I,
start there. The good thing is you have inventory on hand, so you're good.
so
Show
what's
it.
interesting is with the video link thing, like 7, 8, 10 minutes used to be the length. And then all this short content came out. And you know which videos started getting promoted more? Videos that were like 30, 40 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So make the video as long as you want, and then go back and just go through analytics. Because here's the thing is most people get so caught up. Like what I love about what Christian is doing here is it's very simple and he's just executing, right? He's not worrying about the small things. He's just executing, making some tweaks where he needs to make tweaks. And this is the problem. Most of us get caught up in all of the what about this and this? It's got to be perfect. Instead, what is it? Josh Altman said, ready, shoot, aim, right?
There you
That's
go.
what he's
Yeah.
famous for saying. So I love that he's doing the ready, shoot, aim. So put the videos out, get the videos out there, and then make tweaks from there. If people are watching, if you put a 5 minute video out and people are watching a minute of that video, okay, that's not a very good return time, right? YouTube wants people to be on there for a long time, so they promote your videos. So then go watch up into a minute. What is wrong with your video? Is it you're talking too much? Is it you're saying things that aren't important? Are you stuttering with your words? You're saying a lot, right? What are the things that are doing in that first minute that are causing people to bounce out? Is it not entertaining enough? Okay, well, what do I need to do a little bit, be a little more entertaining? What can I say to be a little more? Who's doing things that are a little more entertaining? Let me look up some other people that are a little more entertaining and see what they're doing stylistically. Okay, now I can make some tweaks. The problem is so many people get caught up in not putting out content because they're so worried about everything. They have nowhere to grow from,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
true.
And I think if you can focus on that and then start worrying about, okay, is it a 15-minute video for me, a 20-minute video for me? Rasha, who is doing property tours for like 35, 40 minutes. He wants to do an hour property tour.
I love it.
I can tell you when we're doing the Agent Tactics videos, the replays on an hour gets 20 minutes watch time. But that's a
That's cool.
lot of watch time. But during the live streams, there were people there the entire time. So don't overthink it. Just get out and do it. Is my biggest.
Yeah, and that's what Jeremy brings up is important. Like, just go back and rewatch your videos. But I would say, like, even Jeremy could probably go back through his channel, right? King Jeremy, my favorite Austin realtor. He could probably go back to some of his first videos and be like, "Oh my goodness, what was I doing?" But he stuck with it. So you just start pumping them out, and you can redo those areas again. Don't feel like because you've talked about area A, it's gone forever. You go redo it again. You having being somebody that has inventory on hand, like you have something that not a lot of people have. So show it.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's actually do that.
Let's do
That's a
it.
great segue. Let's do that. Let's see, videos oldest. Oh, that's Agent Tactics. Let's go to mine. Even on this channel, the old videos sucked. Go to your channel. Okay, let's go to my oldest videos. And I left these videos up there, by the way. And I left them up there so people can see where I started and where I'm at now. This is legitimately one of the first
Hey,
videos I've ever created.
let's see if he has a beard.
No beard, but it's just me talking to a camera about why you're like expired phone calls, right? So this is basically an expired script, and I just basically talk to the camera. Like, if you want to be embarrassed about your videos, go back and look at my oldest videos. You want to see which one? Did I don't think I shared audio when I did this. Look, I'm standing in front of Joe's Coffee talking about in a Christmas suit.
Click on that, please.
Let's see if I don't know if you get the audio. That's on the list. It's Joe's Coffee. Look at that fresh face.
Man, what kind of phone were you recording on?
I think my thumb was on the screen, so
Well, can I say something? I'm proud
yeah.
of you for sticking with it, dude. Right? That is the hump and the hurdle that most of us probably won't go over, right? But I would say it's great on the other side, people. So do it, block off the world, just do it.
Yeah, Jamie goes, oh, you got 1,000 followers on Agent Tactics. Agent Tactics is not something like I'm focused on, right? Agent Tactics is taking these conversations, putting them up. I don't even cut these conversations up. I just put it out there because it's not something I just want a place where people are, if they want a good video that we shot, they can go find it, right? Agent Tactics isn't meant for me to get business off of. It's meant for me to help agents. So thanks, Jamie.
Appreciate you.
Uh, what else do you got? What else have we got? Emily, you're blacked out over there. Heidi, can't see your face. Who else have we got? Helmer, what do you got? Melissa. Melissa just went sideways. Oh, she turned off her camera. She's like, oh, they could see me.
I would love to see if anybody applies. It doesn't have to be anything that we spoke about today, but just, YouTube in general. Like if you start it, let me know. Send me an email, send me a text message, and I would love to watch it and congratulate you.
Yeah. What do you got, Jamie?
Man, I'm just trying to stay consistent with a lot of things right now, man. So the idea of jumping on YouTube, I see a ton of value in it for sure, man. But doing everything with the podcast and try to stay consistent with Instagram and all these other things, man. It's like the idea of jumping on and creating a YouTube, like I'm not going to do it unless I can execute every week or whatever the standard is. But I mean, what do you tell somebody that's like, man, I'm already trying to stay consistent on every other thing in the real estate world. And, I know YouTube's a value. I just, man, it's just tough because I'm not going to do it unless I can do one a week or however many is required per week, I guess,
My question to you, Jamie, would be, you say that YouTube's valuable. Why? Why do you think YouTube's valuable? Do you know why?
Good, I like this.
I mean, look, in my opinion, I think it's great because you get the long content, you get people who are sticking with you for a long time and seeing your content and consuming a lot of content. And then they get to know you, like you, love you, trust you, all that stuff built in, man. It's the same thing I'm doing with my weekly email, man. I'm doing the same thing. And people come to me and they say, man, I'm loving what you're doing. And then they come to me warmed up, ready to buy. I love YouTube in that sense of being able to consume a lot of information about communities, but then you're building trust through the way. So I love that about YouTube. I don't know. I'm hesitant to take it on.
Can't you do long form videos and know you, like you, trust you on Facebook too?
Yeah.
So like I think understanding the real value in YouTube is what will make the light bulb go off and you to say, I don't care anymore. I have to do this. Right. So, the other day we're going to be acid washing my garage. The first place I go to is YouTube, right? Because it is a search engine. It's Google, right? So the people that are wanting to pick up these 500,000+ assets in life called real estate, they're going to the places that they can not accidentally stumble across. The intent is real, right? And then from there, they're finding the know you, like you, trust you, like you were saying, in a long form, short form, whatever you want to do. But it's the fact that it's a database for people to search with great intent. Once that goes off in your mind and you're just like, it doesn't matter if I have to iron my clothes in the morning time, plus drive into work, plus do all of this stuff. Like, I'm going to make sure that people are searching me. You know what I mean? You're doing all the great things. You're talking about Facebook and emails and stuff. Like, make sure people can search you when they're looking up the topic.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah. What's interesting too, Jamie, is like, we did a podcast in Vegas, right? You and I. Imagine if instead of doing that podcast in your room between two beds, I was wondering why you kept putting your hand on my knee, but I mean, we're not going to talk about that. But imagine if we put up a camera connected to YouTube Live, and we just sat there and hammered out the same thing where people could like tune in, and then we could have their talk about whatever they're asking. Or let's say we did like, what if there was, I'm sure most of these communities have a property tour video, right? So what if we talked about 5 different communities and found their property tours and just pulled up their property tour video and let that just run over and over and over as we talked about, like he did. How many clients, or how hard do you think it would be if you and another agent on your team just shot the shit about the market, different things, and then you had a VA cut it up for you?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea, man. And that's kind of what I'm looking for, I guess, is to try to figure out, okay, what can I pull off, right? With everything else I'm trying to stay consistent without dropping off. It's
Sure.
tough because I mean, I'm not gonna do YouTube unless I can have a plan, I guess. And I even like Raj's plan. Like I like that as far as property tours. And I think I could maybe even do that in more of a basic, not exactly execute perfectly on the presentation, but even just go do property tours. I think that's a great plan too for YouTube.
Here's another idea, right? And I'm sure that you are keeping eyes on your market all the time, buying, selling, right? You're seeing the home prices that are dropping. You're seeing the new homes coming to market, sold, etc. How about you go to the MLS, right? You filter out the homes that could be shown on the internet. You could even do this on Zillow. And then you do a screen share and you just talk just like you're talking right now, right? Damn, 10 homes dropped their prices in this neighborhood today. Click on them, go through the pictures, right? I can guarantee you people are going to be like, boo to that home, yes to that home, I like that home, knock that wall out. But there's so much that you can do and you don't have to make it flashy. If you want to do the property tours, that's fine. But I think that's where people that's kind of where they're getting scared of, right? Like talking on the camera or walking through the home and doing that sort of thing. You can do it, and I do encourage you to do that. But it's as simple as sitting in your office on a Monday, you're already looking at hot sheets, and just show the world.
Yeah.
What, Dee's comment is here. What if you're not a good narrator? I would just write down five to 10 bullet points of things you want to cover, right? And if here's the thing, I hate scripting, and I know Christian probably scripts a little bit when he comes up with his videos, but for the most part, it doesn't seem like he's too scripted. If you just put 5 bullet points and then maybe wrote notes about each one of those bullet points. So like what I like to do is like, I like to look at the market stats, and I literally will take a binder with me with like just stats that I wrote out. And then I'll like look at it. And if I'm like going off topic, I'll like kind of glance at it and be like, oh yeah, by the way, one thing I forgot to tell you was this. So just write bullet points out for yourself, even if you're going to do the conversation about. So what I think what you're missing maybe with the way Christian's doing it is he said that they have a sheet they fill out about the community. So if you think about it, you have a cheat sheet of the whole community right in front of you, or you have the community up maybe on another monitor. And so you're looking at the different stats, right? Oh, there's 17 homes available. And if you look, the starting floor plan starts at about 1,000 square foot and goes up to 4,000 square foot. So nobody's going to know that you're not looking at this stuff, especially on camera, right? You can have everything, all the cheat notes, especially on live. You can have all the cheat notes around you, and it's so much easier to roll.
I even tell my agents that struggle with notes, because they're the ones that bring up the stats, right? I'm more of the, just kind of just keeping the conversation along. But I tell them when it's time for the stats to come on and you suck at reading stats, tell the world, say, hey guys, I'm going to read off everything about this community real quick. Stick the paper up and say 500 homes, this many, and then put it away, and then we can have a conversation, So there's a million ways to do it. That's kind of over exaggerating, but I do tell, a few of my agents that, because it's hard to remember things to say, as Jeremy would say.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. I got a hard out. I got to jump on a agent call here at 11. One last question. What do we got?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. All right. We're going to leave it there. Thank you everybody for showing up again. Check your emails, check your spam, make sure you're not, the emails aren't going to your spam. I send these out. I send the replays out on Friday. So if you're not getting them, let me know, and we can get that over to you. Christian, thank you so much for jumping on, man. Thank you for taking the time. Everybody in Tampa Bay, steal exactly what he's doing. Just kidding.
Hey, let's do it. We're going to crush it with volume here, but I do appreciate you allowing me to come on, and I appreciate what you're doing in the industry too, man. So keep on doing that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Just trying to give value back to everybody else. Thanks, man.